Yo, what's good, people? Y'all know what it is on Mind of a Maniac Sports and Media. Right now, I'm going to go straight into a hot topic, and that's Buckley and Crawford beef. And I am going to tell you that I am on the side of Bud Crawford and that I am on the side of boxing. And this is why I don't like a lot of UFC fighters. And it really stems from jealousy. Bud said nothing wrong. He said on multiple occasions that if a wrestler, UFC fighter, wanted to, they can beat you. They're going to wrestle you down. Buckley goes into saying spar. Well, first you go after Shakur, the smaller man. You go after him and then you say what you could do to him. Talking about, well, if I wanted to, I can go outside, I can kill you. And then you say, but I don't want you, I want your big brother Bud. Of course, everybody wants the black man that just retired on top. Point blank, period. But are you saying you want Crawford on his terms? In other words, 8-ounce gloves and then a boxing ring since you want to spar. But let me tell you, Buckley, how this goes. See, a lot of you fighters, UFC fighters, you're about typical as other fighters that wrestle. Wrestling is your go-to because your stand-up game is not him. See, the UFC fighters keep getting knocked out when they try to box. Because most of them don't know how to box. They know how to strike. Striking and boxing is two different things. The way they come in like that right there, no side-to-side movement, you know what I'm saying? No real pivots, no real fades or nothing like that. Like, they come in striking. That's totally different. And the reason why that's effective in the UFC is because you have to watch out for kicks. You have to watch out for submissions. You got to watch out for takedowns. So it's so much that can go into play with that. If you put Bud Crawford in that ring with you, he has more of a chance to survive with you doing MMA versus you're surviving with him doing boxing. If that makes sense. Let me give you a prime example of UFC fighters who think they can box. Jake Paul, everyone he's faced, he's knocked out from the UFC. Mayweather could have knocked out McGregor, let's be honest, but he stopped him. Mayweather fought Logan. And Logan is not a real boxer, but I could tell you, Logan Paul would knock Buckley out. Well, I don't know. Let me change. Jake. Because Logan probably would start wanting to wrestle, like doing some wrestling shit. He too gimmicky. But Jake Paul would definitely knock Buckley out. And I think he'll knock Buckley out within the first 5 rounds. If Buckley stays near maybe the first 3. You know why? Because he's been training and boxing. Boxing, not striking. Buckley, they're not getting trained to box. They're getting trained to strike quickly, run at you aggressively. But if somebody steps to the side, feints, whatever, boom, 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 uppercut, they come in so much with that wild punch. The boxers are technical. They're quick, very quick. And I don't think UFC fighters realize how fast boxers are until they get in the ring with them. Problems out, Tyron Woodley. Jake Paul knocked him out twice. Shadow rimmed him. You know why? Because you strike. And one would say that Tyron Woodley is a better striker. Prime Tyron Woodley was a better striker than Buckley. Period. Let's be honest. He's a better technical fighter all around. And he got KO'd by Jake Paul, a person with way less fight experience than Bud Crawford, a person that will probably get KO'd by Bud Crawford easily. But the reason why there's beef is because UFC fighters are honestly jealous of boxing fighters because boxing fighters stand up together and they get their money. Most of them. They get paid handsomely for what they do. UFC fighters, they can't. Dude said they train harder. You do not train harder than boxers. Boxers train hard nonstop. There's no UFC fighter I know trains harder than Floyd Mayweather. I don't care what you talk about. That man trains even in retirement. A lot of boxers train in retirement. A lot of them don't. A lot of UFC fighters train in retirement. A lot of them don't. But you do not work harder than next. Both people are great in their respective sport. But most people resort to wrestling when they can't box. Just like the street. Bigger guy can be getting his ass whooped by a smaller guy in hand to hand. And what does he do? Slam him. Then try to pound on him. That's the easiest way out. That's the coward's way out. In the streets, there's no rules, so I'm not gonna. But I'm just saying, if you want to be taken now, if you want to Buckley, if you want to stand them up, and you go in there and you gonna stand them up, cool. But I can guarantee you, if you talking about sparring, so what you gonna do is, if you talking about sparring, you're going to get tagged a few times with punches, and you're going to go erratic, and you're going to charge them and try to wrestle them down. They're going to have to break it up, and you just going to, you're going to try to elbow them or something like that. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to say, oh, I just snapped. Because y'all blame, UFC fighters blame everything on, I snapped. No, you have control. You just take advantage of that. You're mad because Dana White them been fucking y'all forever. You can literally train 6 months for a fight, or you got to fight until you're 40. You can't stop. Even after you're done, you can't even play for your medical bills because you done gained up all these medical bills. Like, unless you John Jones or St. Pierre or Connor or somebody like that made outside business and was just that great, you can never retire from the UFC. You probably die in the octagon, and no fun intended, but I'm just saying, you cripple yourself. You have to cripple yourself, and that's where a lot of jealousy coming from the UFC. Let's be honest. Unless you're probably the top tier fighters in the UFC, you're not really making no money. You mean to tell me you train for 6 months, you win $200,000 in the fight, you still got to pay camp, still got to pay taxes, still got to pay all this and that. You walking with like 50 or 60 grand. You know what I'm saying? And you're broken up, and then you got to turn around and try to go again. You try to get 2 or 3 fights in a year. Y'all mad? You're mad at the wrong people. You're really mad at boxers for getting money. That's what you're mad at. You're mad at boxers for getting money, Buckley. But you talking about, oh well, Crawford said something about switches. That's because you talking about killing somebody. And then you try to clean it up. Well, I'm not saying for real, but if I wanted to, well, when you talking about killing, just understand it. People know that you're going to wrestle them down to the ground and try to do all these illegal hits and everything else to try to cripple them. You don't think somebody will take care of you if they had to the proper way because you are trained in ground and pound? Just saying. If you want to be a real man, challenge them to a spar in boxing. Stand up. He don't have your skill set, but y'all supposed to be boxers because UFC fighters swear they can box. Go in there and box. If he box your head out, shut up. Shut up. Or go challenge somebody else. Don't be mad at boxers for getting money. Be mad at yourself for getting played like a fiddle for pennies. Mind of a Maniac Sports. Y'all know what it is. We keep it real.